Hey, Greg Silva here. This is my fourth bonus video. I hope you really enjoy this one. It follows along with a lot of things that I really believe, and one of those is getting students to do repetition. Repetition is the mother of skill. I had mentioned before concepts I've learned from the book, The Talent Code. Today I was reading this book. It's The Little Book of Talent. And I came across this chapter and I read the title. This is tip number 19. This book has 52 different tips in there. It's all about getting people to train more effectively. It doesn't really matter if you're teaching them how to play a musical instrument, if you're teaching them something academic, if you're doing something physical. It's all about repetition. And I'm not going to go too much in the book, but repetition produces myelin. They say that practice doesn't make perfect. Practice makes myelin. Myelin makes perfect. That's all in the talent code. The title of this tip, which once I read the title, I almost just kind of skipped over it. It says, don't do drills. Instead, play small, addictive games. Now, I'm a big one of having fun in class, but I really don't like things to get funny during class. And too often I see schools play games without any purpose. What he's referring here is instead of doing mundane drills, if you can keep score, you can make it into a game. So it doesn't have to be a game like dodgeball or something like that, but it's just doing drills and creating a game around the drill. Let me just read you the first paragraph. This tip is about the way you think about your practice. The term drill, which we all do in martial arts, we all have the drills or skills, evokes a sense of drudgery and meaninglessness. It's mechanical, repetitive, and boring. As the saying goes, drill and kill. That's kind of a breakdown on drill for skills, but really important. Games, on the other hand, are precisely the opposite. They need fun, connectiveness, and passion. And because of that, skills improve faster when they are looked at in this way. Then it goes on to the last paragraph of this short article. Good coaches share a knack for transforming the mundane activities, especially the most mundane activities, into games. The governing principle is this: if it can be counted, it can be turned into a game. For example, playing a series of guitar chords as a drill is boring. But if you count the number of times you do it perfectly and give yourself a point for each perfect chord, it can become a game. Track your progress and see how many points you score over the week. The following week, then try to score more points. So before I give you some ideas on how to do this in martial arts, I started thinking of activities I do that I really like. I belong to Orange Theory. If you've been to Orange Theory, it's a fitness place for adults. It's an hour class. You take an hour class. The first half hour is aerobics. So you're either doing a rowing machine or you're doing a treadmill. The second half hour is strength and fitness training. Now, when you go in there, they give you a wristband or a chest band, and it monitors your heart. They have a big screen TV over where the rowing machines are and where the treadmills are. And all of a sudden, you'll see your name and you'll see your heartbeat. And it'll count out your heartbeat. It starts with blue. Blue is like you just kind of a resting heartbeat. You walk from the car to the place, and it's kind of a resting heartbeat. Then it goes into the green. Green says you're ready. It may go up to 10 to 15% of your resting heartbeat. Then you go into a yellow, and then you go into orange. Now, they want you to stay in orange because they have all this calculated. When you're going into orange, now in your fat burning stage. And then once you get over orange, you're going a little bit faster. Now you're doing 80% of your maximum heartbeat. You're going to get a splat. Splat is just, it looks like a drop of paint. The whole idea is to score as many splats as possible. So now you're on the treadmill, and this is where the correlation comes in. It's a game. You're on the treadmill. You're looking at your treadmill. You're looking at your heartbeat. And you go, hey, man, everyone's getting into the green. I'm still in the blue. I got to speed it up. So now you have a choice. You could walk faster. You can go into incline. Then all of a sudden you get into green. And now all of a sudden say, okay, I got to get into yellow, but I really got to get into orange. So you speed it up. You want your heartbeat in orange because now you're competitive and now you're into the fat burning stage. Now, once you get into orange, you want to get a splat, because the more splats you get, it comes at the end of the day. All of a sudden they say, okay, we had a winner today, and Greg Silva was the winner. He had 55 splats. So I never got 55 splats, but that's just saying. So you can get splats by doing the treadmills. You can also get splats and get into the orange by doing your weightlifting. So if you're doing weightlifting, they say, hey, you got to do as many push-ups as you can in the next 60 seconds. Well, you may get your heartbeat up into the yellow if you do so many push-ups. But if you really push yourself and you really crank it out, now you can get back into the orange and eventually get a splat. So those are mundane exercises. Walking on a treadmill to me is boring, but when you're playing a game, you're being competitive and you see your progress, now you start pushing. And that's exactly what he says here. It becomes an addictive game, because all of a sudden you've gone there and you score 5 splats. Next time you go, man, I'm going to get 6. And then all of a sudden you get to 4, you start pushing yourself harder, you get 5. You can have like 5 minutes left and you're going to push yourself because you want to become, at least I do, because I find it very addictive doing this. I've got to get that extra splat. So that's how they do it at Orange Fitness. I also belong to a place called Retro Fitness. Now, I said Orange Fitness, I'm sorry, it's Orange Theory. But I also belong to a Retro Fitness. They have a really, really cool treadmill, and they've got a whole line of treadmills. You're not watching anyone else, but you're watching your screen. Now, you can do interval training. So interval training starts off with a warm-up, and then you go into what's called a sprint. A sprint's only 30 seconds. And when you're in a sprint, you score sweat points. So if I was doing 2.5 miles an hour and I'm on 0 incline, I may score 20 sweat points. Next time around, all of a sudden I crank it up to 3, and I take the incline. I go from incline from nothing to go to 10. Now I may score 50 sweat points. Now if I go even faster, then I can score 70 sweat points. But the whole idea, again, it becomes addictive. And it doesn't seem like it takes a long time. Time goes by really fast because you're doing intervals. So every 2 minutes you're doing another sprint. And you look forward to it, man. Okay, it's all out for the next 30 seconds. But that's what he's talking about in this book. So how do you do this in martial arts? Well, I've seen Roland Osborne and I've seen Derek Frater do this. They'll be doing a class and they'll be doing friendly competition. So they have this side of the class doing kicks, this side of the class doing kicks. This is one team, that's another team, and they're going, and all of a sudden, Derek will go, hey, this side gets 5 points. Now, he doesn't keep score of the points, he doesn't do anything, he just gives points. So instead of saying, hey, this side has more enthusiasm, they're winning, he goes, this side gets 5 points. And then he's going on in class, he goes, hey, this side just got 10 points. And after he does all his drills, he goes, which side won? Now remember, he doesn't keep score, but they do. They'll say, hey, we won, we had 60 points. They only had 40. They keep score. Roland Osborne does the same thing, and it's really funny. I'll say, why did they get points? He goes, I don't know, I just want to motivate them. And so he's got the whole concept of people try really hard. It becomes more fun. People put more effort into it. It becomes more addictive. They love the training because now they're earning something and they're being competitive. It's no different than kids growing up playing video games. They want to get to the next level. This is taking martial arts and creating the same thing. So if you can create some fun out of your drills now start becoming a game. And I hate the word game because I think they become more fun. The people become more skilled. One other thing you can do is, I was reading in this book, they had another thing on training. It says, if you're planning out your class, would you rather have someone do 20 repetitions? Again, I'm really big on repetitions because I know the magic of getting 10,000 reps. That's when you start mastering something. Or would you rather have someone do the same thing 5 times in a row, perfect? If they make a mistake, like say you're doing a form, they have to do the form 5 times in a row perfectly. If they make a mistake, they have to start all over. So on this side, it's 20 reps. This side, it's 5 reps of the same thing done perfectly. If they make a mistake, they have to go over till they get 5 in a row. Well, when you're just doing 20, that again is mundane. I'm not really focused in it. I'm probably thinking about something else when I'm going to do after class, or what this person's thinking about in class, or what I'm going to have for dinner. The person doing it 5 times in a row, it's got to be perfect. They're focused on the task at hand. They're focused on doing the stances right, doing the punches right, memorizing the sequences of forms. That is deep practice. We don't want people just going through the moves. We want them in deep practice. Because when you start making mistakes, now you're on the borderline of failure. And the cool thing with failure is now you've got to repeat it and you've got to concentrate more. Failure isn't like, okay, I failed, I can't do this anymore. Yeah, they can do the form. Failure just means they didn't do it perfectly, and so they just have to do it over again. So now they're deeply focused on the task at hand. Totally different. But now it becomes a game. One is just doing the drill. One is doing the drill correctly 5 times in a row. So now I'm keeping score. Okay, I did it once in a row, great. Twice in a row, great. Third time, I messed up. Okay, cool. Next time I'm going to get higher. So now they're going back at 1. So this is a great thing. Again, I love this part at the beginning. The saying goes, drill and kill. So your drills and skills is really drill and kill because it's boring. It's just doing something. I'm not engaged in it. I'm not thinking. Productivity is poor, and the enthusiasm is poor. So remember what he said in the last paragraph. In the last paragraph, if things can be counted, it can be turned into a challenge or turned into a game. Things we do in martial arts class can all be counted. If we're doing roundhouse kicks on the pad, and you have to kick, maybe put a piece of tape on the bag, you have to kick the target, and you have to do it 10 times in a row. So now they're doing, okay, they did 5, and then all of a sudden they missed the target. Okay, I got to keep going till I do 10 in a row. So a roundhouse kick can be counted and turned into a game or turned into a challenge. So you can do that with anything you do in martial arts. But again, you're the one who wants to be creative. I want to get my students engaged. I want them practicing with purpose. I want them in deep practice. I don't want them to get bored. I want to have them fun. I don't want to play games to just play games, but I would like to train martial arts, being competitive, keeping score, so now I know what I have to do for improvements. Great task. Again, you may want to just pick this book up. It's got 52 tips. Pick out one a day, or one a week. After a year, you'll do the book. Each page or each chapter is 1 or 2. The next one's talking about thinking images. I think I'm going to love that just by the title, because I really believe in visualization. When I had my school in Coral Springs, a lot of the training we did, we would take a knee or I would lock it up. I was like, okay, I want you to do the form in your mind. Now, when you do it in your mind and you're visualizing, there's no mistakes. There's no mistakes. You're going to do it perfectly. Just take your time, go through it. I want you to visualize yourself. Don't just visualize the form. Visualize yourself doing it. You're stepping back. Your knees are bent. You drop into a good horse stance. You've got that block. You're looking focused. Next move, you're stepping back. Block with the other arm. Hey, drop. How's that stance look? The stance in your mind. Project that on a screen in your brain. How does that stance look? Where are your eyes? So I'm going to walk them through that, and then I just have them practice like that. No mistakes. They just practice it perfectly. So now they're going to get up. They know in their mind what it should look like. They just had fun doing that because everyone likes to, play that little game and watch themselves doing something perfectly. I mean, downhill skiers, Olympic athletes, they all do visualizing, and as a way of practice and a way of getting in deep practice with purpose. So those are some ideas on how to use this in your classroom. Have fun with it. Pick up the book. Also pick up the talent code. The whole idea with this is not just producing students that can memorize a form, or know how to spar, but it's producing a student with high quality and high skill level. enjoy. So it's a talent code and a little book of talent. This is Greg Silva. Enjoy.